Hey guys, sorry, this thing is now. Hi Linda, hi Carol. This thing is on now even. I just realised I hadn't changed the title from the previous stream. But yes, I am here and Mark is with me. Hi Mark. Oh, hi Mark.
Hi,
Uh,
hi everyone.
so we're gonna, main topic is gonna be a little bit of a laid back conversation. I just haven't uploaded, well the last thing I uploaded to this channel was a 15-minute movie review that I realised I hadn't put any audio on. So then I had to delete it. Well, it says I'm live. Are we actually live? Yeah,
I
they
don't
can
know.
hear
Let's
us.
see if I can bring up your stream.
Guys, because... yeah, it says I'm live, but it says offline to the left of it, which is a bit weird.
Well, it says... hold on. Could you hear that going through the thing again?
No.
Oh, okay. Right, so you can just hear my microphone.
Yeah, so apparently we're live, but
yeah,
YouTube...
we are live.
It's not showing me the green line it normally does. Maybe if I click refresh quickly. So yeah, guys, we're going to have a bit of a discussion about YouTube and why it's sort of... I mean, it's a topic that has been touched on many times before, and we've talked about it. And, you know, if you watch some big YouTubers like H3 Productions and those kind of people, you'll see that there's a lot of issues that affect much bigger YouTubers as well. But there was a couple of things that happened over the last... Well, one thing that I read on the Social Blade website, which was... that a very kind of trans YouTuber with like a few 100,000 subscribers uploaded a video with trans in the title and the file name, and it was instantly demonetized. And as soon as he took the word trans out of it, he uploaded it again, and it was fine to be monetized. And then I uploaded a video today on my main channel, just a 90-second video of me apologising for not making many videos or streams recently. 90 seconds video, not a single swear word in it, just me looking at the camera, and it was instantly demonetized. Like, what is going on with their algorithms? Now, of course, like someone like you or I, Mark, we didn't start YouTube for the money. For me, it was a strange journey, though, because I started making, I don't mind admitting, I started making a reasonable amount of money from YouTube, enough that I was like, well, eventually this could become a full-time job. And then, of course, after this all happened like 9 months before the adpocalypse happened, and then everything went back to like... I mean, I still make a small amount, more than $100, but less than $200 per month from YouTube, which isn't bad, but then, I mean... I think I average on my main channel around 50,000 views a month or something. So that would be about right, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But with all these, like, you know, literally someone went into their offices and shot them up over this, and they've still not even addressed the issues. And it, you know, even Twitch now, like I've been on there a little while, and the platform just seems cleaner, crisper, easier to use, more friendly for the I know it's mainly about games, but I think eventually I will start scam baiting over there if I ever get my hardware set up, because I'm just about done with YouTube and its weird political agendas that it won't tell anyone that's about what they are.
Well, mind you, over on Twitch, one of the biggest hashtags over there is IRL, in real life. So a lot of it is like not gaming content anymore.
Well, I think that's because so many people are leaving YouTube and going over to Twitch, to be honest, because it's the only other main, like, big video streaming platform, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, and of course, you've had your channel deleted for absolutely no reason in the last few days.
Yes, so, that was a bit of an annoyance, I must admit.
That must be... I don't know how I feel if I just woke up one day and YouTube went, no, by the way, you can't have a channel anymore. Like, what the fuck?
I know, and the thing is, they didn't even give me any, like, community guideline strikes or anything like that beforehand. It was just, I was streaming on Tuesday, and first thing Wednesday morning they said, we're deleting your channel. That's it, no explanation, no nothing.
But you don't, I mean, you do exactly what I do. I can't see what the difference is, like what, and I've watched your streams. I don't think, you know, it's like I'd say I'm more foul-mouthed than you are.
Exactly, I tend to keep mine like as PG-13 as I can to And the thing is, I don't even monetize on the platform, so it's not like I'm trying to avoid yellow dollars or whatever it is.
Do you know, maybe that's why. Maybe they just went like, oh, if he's not monetizing it, he can't care about it. Or something. I don't know, but it's, you know, it's... like, even the fact that we're on YouTube talking about how it's becoming a dead platform is quite ironical, but it's very disappointing.
Yeah, not only have they taken the channel down, I am now no longer able to create a new channel for myself or upload to any of my other channels.
So they've actually, I mean, because Andy had his channel deleted, but he could still, he just couldn't get into it, but his other channel was fine.
Yeah, I mean, my Radio Siski channel, that's fine at the moment, as long as I don't upload any more content to it.
Yeah. Well, this is the trouble with YouTube as well, that because there's such a huge amount of people uploading so many hours of footage every day, everything's done by computerized algorithms and things, but there's no one that you can go to and say, well, can you explain, like, why this video is allowed to be monetized and this one isn't? Can you tell me the exact differences? Because I could upload 2 almost identical videos and they'll go, right, this one you can't monetize and this one you can. And it's odd, like some things, okay, I understand why they, like my 3rd most popular video, the one making an IRS scammer cry. Yeah, it's technically bullying, but it was bullying a criminal. So it's like, but it's no different. Like I've got other ones that I look at and I think getting real gay with tech support scammers, and it's like, well, that's fine. You can make loads of jokes. They probably saw the word gay in it and like, well, we better leave this up because, you know, LGBT community. Maybe I should just change my whole persona and become the gay scam baiter. The game bait, that doesn't work.
The flamboyant baiter or something.
Yeah, exactly, and just pretend to be gay, and then YouTube won't ever demonetize anything or block or delete anything.
No, you'll get bloody promoted, featured videos all over the shop. After all, I believe this month is their LGBTQ 123 promotional month. I think they're giving it a new hashtag this year, because last year they had, what was it, Proud to Be, and that particular community didn't really.
Well, it is
like
gay Pride Month this month, so that's probably why it's probably tied into that.
I think the new hashtag is something like "We Are Family" or something.
I fist scammers, someone has suggested, and Carol said the gay suede scam baiter. Yeah. But what if people then find out I'm straight and then I'll be exposed as a fraud? Well, there you go. Well, no, I don't think I will. I don't think I'll make a new persona as a gay scam baiter, but I was just sort of making a point, you know, if I was a transsexual lesbian, I'd probably get away with anything I wanted. Like Chris Chan.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we should briefly touch on his interview with Count Dankula. If you guys in the chat haven't watched it, it's kind of heartwarming, I found.
Yeah, I mean, well, I enjoyed it, but I'm not exactly sure why I enjoyed it. I mean, I can understand in a way how he thinks, but not entirely, because we're on different parts of the spectrum, and of course I do enjoy Count Dankula's content.
Yeah, well, all I knew of Count Dankula before was that he was the guy that taught his girlfriend's dog to do Nazi salutes, wasn't he? But he had Ricky Gervais's backing. Yeah. I'm like, well, if he's got Ricky Gervais's backing, then he's got mine. But I didn't. He's quite a cool guy because he's like a Scottish guy. But I liked the line of questioning he took with Chris. He didn't go like. I would have been curious to hear a bit more about how Chris felt about all the trolling and such, but like some of the, when he's so deadpan and Chris is going, yeah, I teleport to Quickville, and he's like, yeah, I might try that. It's just like, so that was good. But
and then he warns Chris Chan that Rick and Morty have like a
portal gun,
teleport gun, yeah.
Yeah, I just got to the end today because Oh, Linda would like the link to the Chris Chan Count Dankula video. I'll just try and find it for you there, Linda.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for it too, see if I can find it. Because I was watching it again earlier. It should be in my history.
But yeah, at the end when he starts talking about Ted Bundy, it's a bit weird.
Yeah, so, apparently Ted Bundy is half Sonichu.
Yeah,
is that right?
It is. Yes, yeah. I believe so. Thanks, Karen. Take care. This is. Karen. Oh, there we go. That's. Oops. Remove any. Oh, because I've put the HTTPS in it. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay.
It's still coming up blank. Well, that's weird. Why am I? Why am I a regular person? Oh shit! Because I'm looking at the old stream. What a dick.
Alright. Yeah.
That's alright. Amelia's
done
it.
Either, so I can't post.
I was trying to post it on the stream. I haven't closed the scam baiting stream, and I was like, why am I just a regular person here? Where's my king hat? Not.
Oh, were you logged on as
I wasn't logged into that account. I was in that account, but as IREC everything, so I was trying to send the message there, and of course it kept saying no. Chris Chan needs to collaborate with his Chinese cousin Jackie Chan. Yeah, I watched a movie where Jackie Chan took on the IRA. It was pretty immense, actually. It was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't. It tried too hard to be a political thriller, but it was weird because it's got Jackie Chan running around doing flying kicks in it. And it's like, well, how can you have Jackie Chan doing that while you've sort of got all this undercurrent of IRA business and that sort of thing in it? Well, that film, Matt, wasn't that long ago with Jackie Chan in it. I think he's been over in the UK. I believe he's living in the UK these days. I think maybe because one of his daughters moved over here or something. I don't know if I've just made that up or if I actually heard it. But yeah, so Jackie's running around England and Ireland. The Foreigner, that was the movie. Yeah, it's a good film. Well, it was an okay film. Like I say, it's not. It tried to be a bit too hard to be a political thriller, but it's like a political thriller meets kung fu movie. So, bit of an odd watch, but worth watching.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't seen it.
No. Well, if you're looking for a bit of mindless fun, then you should watch it. A bit like Ready Player One, the movie that I made a massive review over and then didn't record it, then uploaded it.
I haven't seen that one either. I haven't seen a lot of films lately, well, apart from old films.
Well, yeah, Ready Player One was quite was an enjoyable film, but after I finished watching it, I was like, yeah, there's quite a lot of problems with it. But it was all right. Right. So, yeah. Do we have much more to say on the subject of YouTube? See, this is the great thing about Twitch streaming, because we've got a computer game in the background, so when we run out of conversation, you just watch the computer games.
Yeah.
So,
and on my Twitch streams, not only is there the computer game, I've also got song requests, so people can just type in the chat what song they want to listen to, and then have a listen to it.
I really want that on mine. That's really cool.
And that's another thing I found with YouTube. If ever I was playing something in the public domain, or that has a Creative Commons license, which means reuse is allowed, I would get flagged all the time. And there was one incident with me playing an old episode of Porky Pig. The stream got cut halfway through, and I wasn't allowed to stream anymore. I had to fight that.
What? Okay. Well, on YouTube, not on Twitch.
Yeah, on YouTube, not Twitch.
Hold on, Wallace. Wallace is saying, what's this Twitch thing? Basically, me and my friend Mark, who's here, and sometimes some other friends, all of us who've got PS4s, we just go on there, play computer games, chat rubbish, and it's quite good fun.
Yeah.
But also, it's, like when we run out of conversation, like this kind of stream, you're kind of under pressure to always be talking and having a conversation. So I need 2 more followers to become an affiliate as well. So I'll post my Twitch there as well.
That's good.
Yeah, 2 more.
Also, I found it's good that I now have someone to race against who's more or less even with me.
Well, you've been beating me in every race recently, and it's been quite frustrating because whenever I play with Andy and Chris, I know I'm always going to win. So
and now you're not so sure.
Yes, exactly. Well, we'll have some of that tomorrow, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But while
That'd
we're on
be good.
yeah, well, I think tomorrow, I know it's not what everyone wants to watch, but I think tomorrow I'm going to have to stream a little bit of FIFA because I was doing the World Cup mode today and they had a repeatable icon squad building challenge. And in my team, I couldn't believe it, I got Pele. Like, literally, I nearly... Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, 98 rated Pele. Do you remember Pele when he did the adverts for Viagra? Was it for erectile dysfunction?
It was Viagra.
Yeah, no, it's erectile dysfunction, wasn't it? Or it's something along those lines. Yeah,
it was one of those things, wasn't it? Yeah.
But what an absolute legend! Yeah, so I got Pele, then I did another one and I got Gary Lineker. Then I did another one and I got Javier Hernandez, the Mexican fella, and then I got Bobby Moore, and I was like, nice, I got two
Bobby
amazing.
Moore, bloody hell.
Yeah.
So your squad is a bit old then.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's when they were in their primes, not when they were.
Okay, so not nowadays, like dead some of them.
No, yeah, exactly. It's not nowadays. But yeah, anyway, sorry guys, I don't mean to digress. Literally, I start talking about FIFA and the view count drops by 10 people. So maybe I won't stream any FIFA on Twitch tomorrow. But yeah, so why I think YouTube is a dead platform, because it's shit, because it's fucked, because it doesn't do anything for the little people anymore, and it's not doing anything for the big YouTubers anymore. The big YouTubers are leaving because the money is diminished. They'll probably make more money off doing meet and greets and things and such. And the small YouTubers, or sort of, let's say, the medium-sized YouTubers, the ones who were thinking about making a career out of it towards the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, are all like, well, fuck, I can't now because it's so difficult. Like, I don't know if you ever watched Soot House or Sorrow TV, and their stuff, they always mention gets demonetized as well, and it's literally just people reading out text posts from Reddit and Instagram and Tumblr. Some of their stuff's quite funny, but it's a bit weird. Well, YouTube was great even a couple of years ago. It's the adpocalypse has had this kind of unstoppable knock-on effect, and they won't even address it. I mean, you look at, what was her name, the girl that shot up the YouTube building?
I think they're trying to hide that in the media as much as possible.
Oh, I saw loads about it.
If you compare it to other shootings that happened like Vegas and whatnot, nothing's been said about it. In fact, if you didn't see it as it happened on some kind of live stream, there's a good chance you wouldn't have heard of it.
Well, yeah, no, but I even saw some of her videos because they were quite strange. But not like, you know, you wouldn't have thought she would be the sort of person to go and shoot up a building full of people. She just made some quite odd sort of workout videos and this sort of thing. I think Naseem Agdam, that's it. And wasn't she was like the biggest Persian YouTuber or something? Which didn't say that much because I don't think there's a huge amount of Persian. Thank you, Wallace. It's hugely appreciated. Like, not a huge amount of Persian people on YouTube, but I think she has sort of over 20,000 subscribers.
That's not bad.
No, but of course she was then caught up in. You know, she got that disillusioned with YouTube that she decided to go and take vengeance on them. And I don't know if maybe maybe people aren't just uploading as good content anymore. Like, I used to come to YouTube and I'd just go to the recommended list. Oh, and this is the other thing I wanted to mention. Now, the next plan on YouTube, right, is to get rid of your, like, so, you know, when you go on you can scroll down through anything uploaded new by the people you subscribe to.
Yeah.
They're going to get rid of that, and it's just going to be recommended stuff. So, like, the only thing that's sort of actually controlled by you in YouTube is now going to be controlled by them. Sorry, John, I've taken the hat off because it was a little bit warm, but you can always...
So, they want to get more focused on their propaganda then?
Basically, yeah. Basically, YouTube wants to choose. That's how I feel now, anyway. They want to choose what you watch. And it's strange, though. It's so odd as well, because sometimes things get... Like, my videos on my main channel, at the moment, they've been... I don't know if they've been trending or shared somewhere or something, but I picked up, like, 200 subscribers in the last 3 days. It's like,
Wow.
well, this is how it used to be when I was starting out. Like, when I first started out, once I made a decent video, I could guarantee at least 30 subs a day. And then it just flattened out at sort of, I think, about 11 or 12,000 subs. Then it grew, but very, very slowly. And that's the other thing that's a problem with their algorithm. And they won't admit it, but I swear to God, happens, right? When you upload a video, a certain amount of people get automatically unsubbed from your channel. Because I've noticed it's happened too many times, and it's not like if I uploaded a video that might be maybe a bit controversial, I could understand it. I could go, okay, these people don't like that video, that's put them off me, fair enough. But when you upload a video that gets 100 views and 30 likes in the first 100 views and no dislikes, and suddenly you lose 6 subscribers without one person leaving a comment or a dislike saying you're a cunt or anything, it's a bit fishy.
Well, YouTube is well known for unsubbing people and also for removing their views. For example, at the moment, I think there's like an issue with one of the bots. I think I have become a victim because my channel's been removed. I've heard other people's channels also getting removed for the same reason. And I did read somewhere, I think it was on Twitter, that there's like a spam glitch in one of the bots, and so what they're going to do is remove a whole load of views, a whole load of likes, a whole load of subs in order to try and get it back to normal.
Wow.
But they didn't say anything about restoring the channels that have gone.
Oh, sorry, just reading Hal's joke. I threw my girlfriend a surprise bukkake party. Everyone came. You should have seen her face. Yeah, Mark,
that's a good one.
I'm at a loss as to why your channel would have been deleted, to be honest. Like, do you remember a while ago, though, and it was probably around the time that Adpocalypse just happened, and a whole bunch of, but I think that was a whole bunch of big YouTube channels were getting, big scam baiting channels were getting flagged.
Yeah, was that like
Well, I think it was mass flagging by scammers.
My phone support, I know that quite a few got hit because of that.
Well, I know Lewis found himself. I haven't spoken to him for ages. Used to speak to Lewis quite regularly, but I know he found himself in some problems because he had been calling one tech support group quite a lot.
Yeah, and that was because a scam company was using a real company's identity.
Oh yeah,
I think it was either Gentech or Nextech.
Yeah, Gentech.
I'm not sure.
It was Gentech. Yeah, Matt, I think you're right. It's like YouTube. I don't really get it though, because there was it probably still is, like, advertisers. I mean, everything's streaming now, isn't it? How many hours do you watch of regular TV a day, Mark, if any?
I don't watch any new programs on TV. Sometimes, like when I wake up in the morning, I stick on ITV4 and watch an episode of Ironside or something like that. Because I like old programs like that.
I thought you were going to say Dave or something. Like, Dave was one of the only decent channels because it just showed all the old BBC comedies.
Yeah, Dave did used to be okay. I mean, most of it is still okay, but some of their new stuff is god-awful.
Yeah, well, I haven't. But they started making their own content, and some of it was all right, actually, but...
Yeah, some of it was all right. I mean, I liked... Dave Gorman's My Life is Goodish, or whatever it's called.
I haven't seen that, but Modern Life is Goodish, but yeah.
Modern Life is Goodish.
I'm a fan of Dave Gorman. I don't know if you ever saw that, read his book, America Unchained. That was brilliant.
I've got tickets to see him later this year, I think in October.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's a very cool guy, it seems. I've read his book, America Unchained, where he goes across America trying to use only independent companies for everything, even including petrol and stuff, which means, like, they're literally running on empty to try and get to places. It's really good. Like, they only go to what they call mom and pop stores, and they go from, like, one side of America to the other, not using a single chain of anything. They only eat in independent diners, petrol from independent petrol stations. Or gas, I should say, gas from from gas stations. But yeah, I mean, I probably watch maybe 2 hours of TV a week, and I only turn it on. If I get up in the morning early enough to actually have a coffee and something to eat, I'll stick on American Pickers or Storage Wars, because that's all they show here in English in Spain. Either that or Two and a Half Men, but I'd rather watch Storage Wars than Two and a Half Men or The Big Bang Theory.
You've just reminded me, when I went down to Cornwall to see Mr. Pricky, the town that I stayed in, which is the one that all the scammers go on safari, there was not a single Costa's there, not a single Starbucks, not a single McDonald's, none of these big chains. It's all like little local places, and I found it to be so much better.
It's that's the town I live in here in Spain. I mean, just outside of the town we've got like Burger King, McDonald's, and everything, but not in the town itself. Oh, Wallace remembers. Well, it's just there. Ice Road Chuckers as well. That's the other one. Well, it's just whatever they show on the channel called Mega.
If you do like a good laugh, I found one program which is just so over the top. It's called Lizard Lick Towing.
I've seen that. I've seen it before. Yeah, I think I saw that back.
It's been around for a while. So over the top, and it's so bad. It's good.
It's a bit like, because there was that one and there was the Bounty Hunters one as well, wasn't there? And they would be shown back to back.
What is that, like Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Not Dog the Bounty Hunter. There was another one about the Bounty Hunters though, wasn't there? And like the woman was in the office, or like debt collector guys or something. Actually, was it Lizard Lick Towing? Is that literally what?
Lizard Lick Towing was a debt collector.
But they would go and like stealth get the trucks and things, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't intend to look like Charlie Sheen. My friend once said I have a generic face because I look a bit like everyone. So that wasn't very nice. But yeah, people keep saying I look like famous people. Someone said on one of my videos, which was very kind, they said I look like a cross between George Clooney and Ryan Gosling. It's like, well, I'll take that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then someone else
say I look like a dog.
Oh yeah, that's all they see is the dog. And someone else said I look like Hugh Jackman. And I was like, well, he's just badass, so I'll take that as well. So I think I just look a bit like everyone. Oh you mean Fermor. Edward Fermor, I believe his name is. Yes. No, he's not Charlie Sheen. No, he is a British like war hero. Just looks like a cool fucking guy. Basically, I just thought he looked like Sir Edward. Well, in fact, someone actually showed me the image and said, "This is what I imagine Sir Edward to look like," and I went, "Yeah, I'll have that."
Oh, is that little person in your icon for your channel? I never knew who he was.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like some war hero of some kind or something. I can't remember. I'll have to Google him again.
The first time I heard Sir Edward speak, it reminded me of a character played by, I think it was Paul Whitehouse on the Fast Show.
Yeah.
Of this old person with scruffy-looking white hair sticking up, drinking...
smoking jacket.
Yeah, and he would also always go at the end of his sentences, I was very, very drunk.
Yeah.
Do you know that guy?
Well, yeah, I know that guy. The thing with that guy, a lot of people have done sort of an old, posh bastard. In fact, the origins of Sir Edward are quite obscure, to be honest, because he actually grew out of a character I did when I first started out doing stand-up comedy, who was called the Best Worst Man. Or the Worst Best Man.
The Worst Best Man.
Yeah, and I used to do like a little skit, like I would get. In fact, it was kind of a trick because it was only my third or fourth gig, and I was going to a night called Spoonful of Poison in London, which is it's not just a comedy night. Not just. I'll take Toby Jones as well, Wallace. I'll take Toby Jones. He's a fantastic actor. No, and basically. This night it wasn't just comedy, it was like music, it was like monologues, it was all sorts, so it was a bit weird, and I thought, I can just go a bit odd here and try something new out. And also it meant, because I was pretending to give a wedding speech, I could have all my jokes and everything written down on cards in front of me, but it looked like it was part of the thing. So I turned up to this like open mic night with like a tuxedo on and a flower in my thing. And then when it was my turn to go up, I just started off and I went off like, now we're all having a good evening, but you know, we're also here for Kevin and Pat's wedding, and you know, I've been friends with Kevin for a long time, and then it got really degraded. I can't remember the whole speech now, and I'm sad I've lost it, because it sort of turned out like I would subtly hint that basically this guy was an absolute cunt to his friend throughout his life, and like it was things like, well, Kevin, after we'd all had a go on her, then Kevin finally realised Pat was the only woman who would ever marry him, and you know, I wouldn't like to think about how dry and used up her vagina is now, but, you know, Kevin has to take what he can get, especially since the alopecia. And it just sort of things like that just went on and on. Yeah, so that was where Sir Edward came from. It was that stand-up comedy night. And then, of course, 10 years later, I started doing this posh character here. It's a shame, because then when I was doing the stand-up comedy, I then went far more into the Julio and got into that. I always liked doing character stand-up comedy because I'm a bit insecure. And if you do character stand-up comedy and people don't like it, you can always go, well, it's not me they don't like, it's the character.
It's the character, yeah.
But luckily, people normally did tend to like it most of the time. I had some great. I mean, I do miss that. I mean, it's all fun doing YouTube stuff, but I miss the laughter of a live audience. There's nothing like at the end when you've had when you've killed it at a gig, and like you say you're like closing lines, and everyone just applauds and is like, yeah, that was
encore.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is most comedians starting out don't have more than sort of 8 minutes of strong material. So if they did want an encore, there wouldn't have been much more. But in fact, yeah, it got to the point where I had like 5-minute set and 10-minute set worked out and stuff. But yeah, the old stand-up comedy never worked out. Well, I guess I kind of gave up and stopped. And then I came over here and I was a bit... Don't know if a South American failed pop star would work in Spain. Don't think Spain would have the same effect on Spanish audiences. So yeah, the old stand-up comedy got put on the back burner. Yeah, we're getting off topic again anyway, onto the Sir Edward Origins. Should make a Sir Edward Origins comic book, but actually of his origins, not just how I formed the character, just like him going to the war and stuff like that. Be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think that that little, I don't know, 1 or 2 minute videos of like Sir Edward's past life
I keep meaning to do this for my Patreon.
For like the breaks in your, if you need a break in your live streams, you could just put one of those 1 or 2 minute videos on. Sir Edward in Thailand or something.
The difficulty with the live streams at the moment is just my technical difficulties have made them so hard. Like I can't even think about putting other things in at the moment if I don't know if there's you know, it's great if I can do a half-an-hour phone call to the IRS and then go, right, need a 5-minute break to grab a drink and use the bathroom and then whack a little video on. But if it's loads of 3-minute phone calls that aren't working, I haven't got really room for it at the moment.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'll get that sorted out in the future. Oh, that's a good idea, Johnny. This is the difficulty, and this is kind of what I miss though, because I could do stand-up bits to the camera, and the difficulty is with YouTube. You'll always get people that really like what you do, and they'll support you no matter what, which is great. But it's quite difficult to tell whether something really works. Like when you say a joke to an audience, like especially if you're using sort of experimental and new material. And you can go, okay, this joke wasn't tight enough, or I need to get from the setup to the punchline quicker because they laughed at the punchline, but there was a minute of silence in between. Because the rule of thumb as a stand-up is you should be getting a laughter every 30 seconds, which with YouTube you wouldn't know so much. With YouTube I've tried to do some sort of stand-up stuff, like the Cockney Charlie's cookery video, I suppose was stand-up with props to an extent, and again it's character comedy, but that's my bag. But yeah, so that was
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
with me, I tend to be more not being able to come up with ideas and characters and stuff like that. I'm more of a visual and editing sort of joke. Like if I see like a video of something, I can think, I know how to like cut that up to make it sound like they're saying something offensive or something rude, and try and get a laugh that way.
Oh, I like editing stuff to make it funny, but it takes so long. I did that Lorne Armstrong one where I made him sound gay, but what was it? I think it was 90 seconds. It took me 3 hours to edit that for a 90-second video. It's just so much hassle for what you get in the end with the editing stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I seem to be okay with that sort of thing. It was, for example, Sir Edward's CD.
Oh, that was really
video.
nice. Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to put that together in a couple of hours.
Sorry, Matt, I don't mean to be a bad influence, but you know, we're all just chilling out, having a wee drink and a smoke. Have I got more wine left? Oh, yeah, probably about a glass and a half there. No, that video was great that you made with the CD thing. I loved that.
Yeah. I mean, if I was still able to upload to YouTube, I've got like a few other ideas that I could have done. Like the best of Rec DVD available for $39.99.
Yeah, that's what I made. I made a compilation of my own stuff a while ago. I quite like doing that. The trouble is now I've got so many hours of footage on YouTube to go through and find what the funny bits. It takes a long time. Well, they're all funny bits. So it's impossible. But no, but I don't know. For me, like I think a lot of people, coming back to our main topic of discussion this evening, I think a lot of people kind of think that, oh, you know, he really cares about the YouTube money or whatever. And I never did when I started. But when I started getting, I was like, well, this is quite nice. So it is annoying to them suddenly go, well, now you can't have as much anymore.
Yeah. And then go to someone like me who absolutely doesn't bother about the money. Just say, right, we're deleting all your shit.
Well,
I can't even access the videos that I uploaded.
I don't mean to say, like, I wonder if they just thought because you don't monetize it, you don't care. So they're like, fuck it, you know, let's get another cunt off the platform. Like, well, I'm not saying you're a cunt.
I did have, like, one crazy theory. And that's because, like, at the time of deletion, my channel had, like, 585 subs.
Yeah.
And I was getting, like, 40 people watching the live streams at any one time. Now, that seems to be an overly large amount for the number of subscribers. So I'm thinking that they may be thinking, right, he's probably got botted accounts watching this. And
I don't think for the live streams you could, though. I don't think you can. I mean, there's lots of rumours about big YouTubers that sub-farmed and such. But, and also, I mean, some things look quite suspect. He disappeared, and all his videos disappeared. But I had my suspicions. I don't know if you remember him. And maybe partially it was jealousy, because I think at the time my channel was about 4,000 subs. And this guy came out of nowhere and went to 15,000 subs. But he was like a scam baiter, but also a lawyer. And I can't remember what his... but he was getting, like, his amount of views and the way his channel went from 0 to 100 in no time seemed very odd to me. And he was getting very low likes compared to the amount of views, if you see what I mean. I mean, for my videos, like, I could, for the first maybe 200,000 views, I could say, well, for the first 200 views, I normally get 1 like for every 10 views. So I get 20 views in the first 20 likes in the first 200. Then it will start to cool down a bit. But you'd get, say, for 1,000 views, you'd get on average between 40 and 100 likes. And this guy would have like 10 likes but 3,000 views and things. It was very strange, but I never wanted to say anything because he was another scam baiter, and I didn't want people to think I was being bitter about how fast his channel had grown. But then he just disappeared out of nowhere. I don't know what happened. I completely forgot he existed until now.
Well, that reminds me of not so long ago, YouTube had an issue called ElsaGate. I don't know if you're aware of this. It's basically when they had the YouTube Kids app.
Yeah.
They would have channels on there dedicated to inappropriate content directed towards children. A lot of them were like had the main characters of Elsa and Spider-Man, and they would get up to some pretty adult content, let me say. And yeah, because it was on the YouTube Kids app, like when you're on there, parents, some parents, as they stick their kids in front of the telly, stick on the YouTube Kids app and just let it autoplay all the way through. And of course, you can't comment on those videos, you can't like or dislike them. So all of these inappropriate children's videos were going through until they were picked up by people rather than the YouTube bots, because the YouTube bots thought, yeah, that's okay, it looks all pretty, and let's just flag it through. And so you would get these massive YouTube channels relying on the Kids app on there. I mean, we're talking about channels that had 15 million subscribers, 20 million.
Wow.
They're so massive, and like, all of a sudden, a whole load of them were taken down overnight. And I'm not sure if the YouTube Kids app is still going, but it's been heavily picked over with fine-tuned comb now. Wow. Fine-toothed comb, sorry.
Yeah, fine-tuned comb.
I don't know.
No, there was something.
There was
something. So, oh yeah, Johnny said, did you hear about the people in China giving people with high social media status special mirror, like the episode of Black Mirror? Oh, what's it called? I wanted to say Drop Zone, but that's a GTA mode, isn't it? It's a word for something that. Oh, what's the episode called? It's gonna really annoy me. But the episode, anyway, with, what's her name? Ron Howard's daughter. Is it Ron Howard's daughter?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, is Rebel Wilson Ron Howard's daughter? Ron Howard's got more than one daughter. It's Nosedive. I was thinking of a plane going down. That's what I said, something crashing. Yeah, Nosedives. That's why I thought of Drop Zone planes. Yeah, Nosedive. That's crazy. Like, the world is going a bit like Black Mirror. Bryce Dallas Howard. Thank you very much, Johnny. Gosh, my brain, it reveals slight things to me, but it won't allow me to open the door on them. Yeah, that's a great episode. That's Andy's favourite episode of Black Mirror, but yeah, the world is all getting a bit like that. It's quite worrying. I've been watching. Have you ever watched Inside Number 9?
It rings a bell. I can't remember it now.
It's the writers of The League of Gentlemen. Well, it's except Mark Gatiss. It's Reece Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton, and it's actually
right.
It's actually quite a bit Black Mirror-esque. It's not all future stuff. I don't know where Andy is tonight. He hasn't sent me a message. I did mention we might stream at some point, but I haven't heard from him. But it's it's like comedy thriller stuff. It's very good. Some of the episodes are great. Some of them are okay-ish. Yeah, it's worth watching though.
I'll look out for it.
Yeah, well, I thought it was quite big in the UK because I remember they were advertising it when I was back home at Christmas.
All right.
So.
Was that BBC or ITV or Netflix? Or?
I think it's BBC, but I'm not sure. It's called Inside Number 9, Carol. And it's just every episode is a different episode, but set in the house number 9 on whatever street it is. Every episode follows a different story. Black Mirror episode. Did you hear, what was it, last year, that something like more fake news was promoted via Facebook than actual real news because so many people... Linda, yeah, you might have done. Because so many people believed it and then forwarded it. That's the world we're living in now. Separating truth from fiction is going to become harder and harder. I worry for our futures. I really... I mean, I wouldn't know you, I wouldn't know a lot of people, but I do wonder sometimes if perhaps the world would have been better off without an internet.
I do sometimes think that, but I'm going to go ahead and put my hands up here. I do sometimes watch InfoWars. with Alex
Oh,
Jones.
Alex
So
Jones, yeah.
yeah, so I do sometimes.
Have you ever watched any
I mean,
Super Deluxe's videos? He made a video of Alex Jones as a folk song. It's quite
yeah,
funny, yeah.
yeah, that was really funny. I did enjoy that. I do enjoy quite a few dank memes of Alex Jones and other dank memes as well.
The first Mrs. R, yeah, well, the people, it's now a team who write Black Mirror because it's gone to Netflix, but it used to just be Charlie Brooker, who I absolutely love. He's written some other things and done some other programs, and I would strongly advise people to check him out. He's just a very cool guy. He just seems to have a very similar outlook on life to me. But yeah, Charlie Brooker. He also wrote a series that I keep talking about called Nathan Barley, which is one you definitely should check out as well, which predicted hipsters before hipsters were a thing, but it might be quite dated now because I think it was late 90s. Thanks, Project Predator.
Well, I have a few thoughts about hipsters, to be honest with you.
Go on.
I mean, if I ever see a hipster,
you'll punch him in the face, kick him in the nuts.
I would like to do that.
I had my hipster hat on in my stream today.
Because hipsters pride themselves on doing stuff before it's cool, I just tend to point out that they're like beatniks, for example.
I think.
And so like they're not doing anything new at all. They just want to be beatniks.
Yeah, but beatniks were cool though, weren't they? Because they like just chilled out, smoked loads of drugs, and wrote poetry and stuff. Hipsters are like, you see someone in the street and you're like, oh, is he homeless? Oh no, it's a hipster. It's like, is he homeless? Oh no, look, he's got a BlackBerry and a fixie bike.
Rides round on a Segway with an oiled mustache that loops around.
Yes, exactly.
And I just point and laugh and say, ha ha ha, you look like a complete cunt.
I have been getting into the world of chap hop, to be honest, though, and it is a bit hipstery.
Chap hop?
Of course, Project Predator. I will check that out. Chap hop. Can I, in fact, because I still can't monetize this channel, even though apparently, oh, that's the other thing, right? That I need to point out about YouTube. With my last channel, well, I suppose when I started, I could monetize. Now you need to have over 1,000 subs. I've now had over 1,000 subs for over a month, and my channel's still in review.
You also need 4,000 watch hours.
Got the hours. Got all the criteria.
And then I've noticed that some people take 6 months to get processed, 9 months to get processed. So obviously, if I did still have a channel, I would never do that anyway.
Right, I'm gonna give us a little musical interlude because I'd like you, Mark, as well, to see what you think of chap hop. I guess this might make me a bit hipstery, but I've been really enjoying some of this song. I'm not sure which song to go. I'll go for the most chap hoppy one I can. I'm just sharing my system sound with you. I believe everyone in the chat should be able to hear this. So this is chap hop, guys. I may have played this. I think I played this on my last stream when I was very drunk. But just so that you guys can get an idea of chap hop.
I say, chumrates, I was on my way to the club the other day, and this chappie stops me and says, I don't quite like the colour of your jib, sir, or something along those lines, but rather in the modern parlance, I'm afraid. So I explained to him in no uncertain terms that the cut of my jib was entirely beyond reproach, and so I went on to explain what goes on. No coward of rap, I'm not blithering. The world of chap is what I'm living in. Spelled backwards means nothing at all. Stop fiddle-faddling and come to the ball. Check the facts and expose those brats. They're tiresome brats, they're not chaps. The government is posh, but they're not dandy. I've no cost, but I've a pipe and I shall keep it handy. With great grooming comes great responsibility. Take care in your clothing like a jeweler does filigree. Tweed and silk over the loop by Mr. B. Let's get 1 million views on chap hop history. Careful stitches like a leg spinner's pitches. Lined in silk if they're pure wool inches. There's a rule of thumb from the chap hop diadem. It's not where you're from, it's where you're at. Smart talk, just like a chap. 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 one has to do almost every day. Explain to people just like that. The rapping dandy 20 years later, still going strong, having spurned their haters. New generations dressing their best. Chap hop on 2 gramophone decks. It's jolly fun, so how could you hate it? Rights and rhymes while my tailor waited. 20th century, but how do you date it? Celebrated, yes, still understated. Like Terry Thomas, I'm a bounder, my lady. Keep living life like it's the 1880s. A chap out of time, but rising to the top. Music hall MC will just not stop. Between revolution, culture exchange. Pay attention, don't look all strange. Hail the chap, give 3-piece a chance. Face the world with a dandiest stance. Smart, just like a chap.
Well, there you go. That's chap hop, and I guess it's quite hipstery. It's a bit, but I've been quite enjoying it. But I think Johnny made a very good point here. Most hipsters are pseudo-intellectuals who don't read or do anything intellectually stimulating. I guess that's. But
Very good.
because I'm a home counties. Oh, in fact, I just marked just to point out the guy that was doing that chat pop in that song. You would actually know him from another band many years ago. Do you remember Collapsed Lung?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rapper from Collapsed Lung.
No.
Yeah. Eat My Goal, that guy.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. But oh no, Carol, that's not rap meets punk. I used that. That's right up my alley. Rap meets punk. That's my sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some rap punk bands. The first one that came to mind that was like Limp Bizkit. I was like, fuck
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit.
I was thinking of people like Limp Bizkit. I'm not sure if you could clash Linkin Park, is it? Or I'm not exactly sure about that.
I'm not really that familiar with Linkin Park.
Because I know that they did do a collab with, I think, what was it, JC at some time?
Did they? Oh, yeah, Jay-Z and Linkin Park. I remember that, yeah. But, I suppose, yeah, Jay-Z's... if you've ever listened to the Grey album, that's fantastic. Which is, it's a mixture of Jay-Z's The Black Album and the Beatles' The White Album. Like, mixed together. It's insane. Mixed by Danger Mouse. Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking? There was something else I wanted to mention, but I've forgotten.
You were talking about hipsters and chat pop or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, because being a home counties boy that moved to London, of course, you know, I saw people develop into hipsters right in front of my eyes. But I was always just me. I didn't fall into their trap.
I didn't fall into like any sort of hipster sort of thing. I remember as a teenager I started to listen to a lot of punk, a lot of ska, a lot of reggae.
Oh, I love me some ska.
Oh yeah, I used to listen to Real Big Fish a lot.
I saw a Real Big Fish live.
So did I. I saw them when they were in Salisbury.
Oh, I saw them in the Oxford Zodiac in Cowley, just outside of Oxford. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
I think I'm trying to think of their album.
Though, Less Than Jake was one of my favourite live gigs I ever went to.
Less Than Jake, yeah.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, sorry.
Favourite Noise was the name of my favourite album by Real Big Fish.
What your favourite noise was? Oh, favourite noise was.
Favourite Noise, I think, was the name of the album.
Real Big Fish were a little bit too mainstream for me. Like I liked some of their tracks, like their cover of "Take on Me," and of course everyone liked "Beer" because it was in the film Basketball. But I liked a bit more obscure sort of ska punk stuff. Mad Caddies, Catch-22, that sort of thing.
I do remember a kind of ska band that was like local to me called Whitmore.
Oh,
I think they had
seen Whitmore.
I think they had like a couple of I think they had like a couple of songs that were played on one of the Sky Music channels at the time, and I think there was like a snippet of their audio that was used for the channel's ident.
Well, do you know the band The Foals?
No. I remember
they're really big, right? I think one of their songs has been used on some American TV program or something, and I'm mates with their drummer. That's one of my claims to fame.
All right.
Yeah. Well, he was at school when I was working in the record shop round the corner from the school, and he used to come in and talk about music with me. We became quite good. But I sent him a while back. I said, Jack, now that you're a big name, famous superstar, still remember me? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay, good. Well, that's that then. Never spoke again. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I do have like an old friend from school. He's in. Well, I'm not really sure if you could call it in the music industry, but he's in a band called Subgiant over here. I think they do. Oh god, dub, that sort of thing.
okay, yeah. What, dub, classic style dub or dubstep?
I'm not sure whether it's dub or dubstep because I've never actually been to one of his.
Because I like some dub. I mean, everyone loves Sublime. If you must remember Sublime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after Bradley Norris died, they became the Long Beach Dub All Stars.
All right.
And so they do sort of like more. They went more down a reggae path. The ex-members of Sublime, but they had some good albums, or at least one good album, the Long Beach Dub All Stars.
Yeah. Also been listening to Lee Scratch Perry lately.
Classic.
Thanks to bloody Blue Arc, because he's the DJ on that.
Oh, what, on Blue Arc, the radio station on GTA?
Yeah, on GTA.
Amazing.
Yeah, that rekindled my love of reggae and ska and all that recently.
Oh, you met all of Aerosmith, Carol? Wow. I used to love Aerosmith as a kid. As a kid, like my sort of bands I got really into, it started with Queen and then went on to Aerosmith. Yeah. Oh, wow, Johnny, that's mental.
I think more or less all of us used to listen to Queen when Wayne's World came out and they did the old Bohemian Rhapsody bit.
Yeah, I think that Wayne's World was responsible for getting a whole generation of people into Queen. But also I think everyone's dad owned a couple of Queen's records.
Yeah. I mean, I know I owned a few of their CDs. Well, my dad had Hits 1, Greatest Hits 2 and Greatest Hits 3.
The weird thing was, my dad's music taste, it was too heavy for my liking. Because mostly he had stuff like Grateful Dead and... what was Ozzy Osbourne's band?
God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Black Sabbath? No.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad was into all that stuff. It was too heavy for me, but he had all the Queen albums, and I was like, yes. Just took them into my room when I got a record player in there.
Yeah. And, my dad, he used to be into Elvis a lot. He had an awful lot of Elvis albums. He also had stuff like Eddie Cochran, and some other people from the 50s.
No, see, my mum was the one that was into the more... My mum got me into, like, 50s rock and roll, Jerry Lee Lewis, the Beach Boys. I fucking loved the Beach Boys growing up. Although there was what was I watching? And someone made a comment about the Beach Boys being, like, really generic pop music. And I was like...
Oh, are you thinking of that quote from The Simpsons?
Is it The Simpsons? There was a quote I was watching where they talked about... Oh, no, do you know what
I was watching? That was the Monkeys, wasn't it?
Do you know what it was? It was fucking that pawn shop program. You know, the one where they buy the stuff and a guy came in...
that type of porn.
Yeah.
Porn stars with Chumley, the old man.
That one. Porn stars, and they came in with the surfboard from the cover of one of the Beach Boys albums, and then someone made a comment about Beach Boys being generic sound, and it was quite a legitimate comment the way he put it forward, even though it was like Chumley Warner or whatever his name is.
No, not Chumley Warner. Chumley Warner was from Harry Enfield.
Chumley.
Because Chumley Warner was that old style information film kind of thing. You would have two proper English gentlemen stood up. Hello, Mr. Chumley Warner. Oh, hello, you're going to teach us about sexual intercourse today. Oh, yes.
What was your first ever song you owned? And then your first ever, like, tape, cassette, and CD? Do you remember?
First, yes, I do, and it was the 7-inch, 7-inch single of "Our House" by Madness.
Oh, very nice choice. My first record was this 7-inch vinyl of Europe: The Final Countdown.
Wow.
And then the next music I bought, because my mum took me into the record shop and asked if I could have it, was a double tape cassette, like 2 tape cassettes of Motown's greatest hits.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes. And
Love a bit of Motown.
yeah, there was some amazing songs on there. Across 110th Street, a couple of Marvin Gaye tracks. But the one song I always skipped was Mon Chéri Amour. That's why I thought of that, because Johnny mentioned Sloop John B. And that was on my Beach Boys cassette. That was the one song I always skipped. I couldn't stand Sloop John B. Yet it's one of them songs you hear and it's in your head forever.
Yeah.
Like that. So yeah, I couldn't. That song I always skipped. I loved all the other Beach Boys songs though. Do you know what got me into the Beach Boys? I remember the song that got me into the Beach Boys. It was from the movie Flight of the Navigator.
Oh God, that takes
What
me
a
back.
movie.
Flight of the Navigator. Yeah.
What was that? Fred Savage, the boy who was in the Wonder Years. Was he the kid in that? I think he was, wasn't he?
I don't think it was him, to be honest. No.
But yeah, he's in the spaceship and they play "Round, Round, Get Around, I Get Around." I'm like, yeah.
And
wow,
they played Twisted Sister as well, if I remember. And is it Sarah Michelle Gellar who was in that film?
No, it was the woman who's in Sex and the City. I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
The main Sex in the City one, the one with like the warts on her face that she covers up with makeup. The one that looks a bit like a horse, but actually looked quite good in that film. But then she got older and looked like a horse. What's her name?
Oh God.
I'm sure someone in the chat will know who we mean.
God, I've got to look that up.
Sarah Jessica Parker? Is that? Have I got that right?
Could be.
Is that why you said Sarah Michelle Gellar? Because you've got double-barreled name in your head?
That's probably what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because she played the woman working in the NASA place where they took the boy and stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, we've gone quite far off topic. I hope the guys in the chat don't mind. Sort of a clickbaity title now, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, we haven't really discussed that much about YouTube, but I quite like taking a little trip down nostalgia alley at times. It makes a change from talking about pedos and weirdos for once. I suppose Andy's not with us.
Well, Andy isn't with us, so
so we haven't got the king of pedos.
There's always that focus on Andy sort of content.
Yeah, you see Andy, you just think of pedos.
Yeah, basically, right? It's all on. Oh, I can't do his accent. I'm sorry.
I must admit, I can't do it either. Must admit, he's not here, and we're just dissing him. Oh, is she married to Oh, what is his name? Because I love that movie. Ferris Bueller. Matthew Broderick. Yeah.
The murderer. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he a murderer?
He did kill someone in real life, but I think it was an accident.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That was a great film.
Bueller.
Oh, so it's that kind of family.
Have you got a kiss for daddy?
Yeah. My favourite scene in that whole movie is where he gets himself up on the float and sings that song, and I'm like, one day that'll be me. Of course, it never happened. I'd love to sing a song on a float. Andy's on a date. Oh, wait, I think Linda's talking about how Matthew Broderick killed someone. I thought Linda meant Andy's on a date. It's a total car accident waiting to happen. shit, that can happen though. The first misses are some. Some friends came to visit me, and they have this thing here in Spain. It's quite cool. It's like a car share thing where you can just go and like you pay. It's only like €350 an hour, but I have to pay a monthly membership fee of like €5. But it's like €350 an hour, including petrol, if you fill up from the right petrol stations, which I found out the hard way. But you can go and get a car anyway. I'm so used to driving in the UK on the left-hand side of the road, and we went and picked up our friends from the airport, and then we came back and stopped in the mountains because to get back to where I live, you have to drive through the mountain. Well, you don't have to, but you can, and it's nice. So we stopped in the mountains. We had a little sabbatical. And I pulled out and started driving the wrong side down the road. But luckily another car flashed its lights at me and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah, Johnny, I think we'd all like to hear a bit more about Andy's dating thing. The trouble is when he brings it up, like, because people just associate it with the things he said. It's, I think he's a bit on tenterhooks as to whether he can talk about his dating experiences. But I'm sure we'll get him to talk about it soon.
Was it Tinder that he used?
I don't think it was. I think he used like something weirder. I don't know.
Weirder?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm guessing that Tinder is pretty weird.
I've been on Tinder in the past and it's horrible.
Oh, I've never used it, to be honest.
No.
I mean,
it's...
when it comes to internet dating, yes, I have been on there, but I've decided it's more profitable for the companies not to find you a date so that you would continue with the monthly fee.
I wasn't partying, Carol, if that's what you mean. I wasn't drinking, that's for sure. I'd never drink and drive. No, but I might have had a small smoke of something, but that actually makes me a better driver. Because when I'm complete, in fact, I've totaled 2 cars in my life, and both times I've been stone cold sober. The first time wasn't my fault though. It was a rainy night and a deer came out in front of me, and I swerved to avoid it, and then my foot slipped off. My foot was wet and it slipped off the brake, and I couldn't get the brake down. So then I just had to navigate the car into a ditch, which was fine though. But the second time I totaled a car was proper nasty. The second time I was completely against stone cold sober, but I just was driving far too fast. And I took a corner very, very quickly in my BMW, which was rear wheel drive. And so the two wheels, as I took the corner, the 2 wheels came up off the side of the road. And as they came up, I thought, fuck, I can feel that. But it's going to drop back down, isn't it? And it didn't. And then the 2 wheels came right up, and then the car flipped, and it kept flipping, and it kept flipping, and it was fucked.
Yeah. I've only totaled a car once. I was at like this crossroads, and this Range Rover went into me, but I only had a very tiny car, so it kind of like flipped over and over and over, and I was crushed.
Oh shit, did you have to go to hospital and stuff?
Oh yeah, they had to cut me out. The fire brigade had to cut me out, and luckily I only had like a few injuries. I cut the top of my ear off. My clavicle was a nice clean cut.
Hell.
So
what car was it?
It was a God, what was it? I think it was a Fiat Punto at the time. It was a little tiny piece of shit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it just crumpled up.
Yeah, that's the thing. The guys from after my accident, the guys from the recovery breakdown people who came to take the car away, they said, anything if you were in anything that wasn't German built, it wouldn't be here today. I was like, right, only ever buying BMWs from now on then.
Well, I think that's why I went over to Volkswagen, because after that I got a Volkswagen Passat.
Yeah.
Which is a decent sized car. And a good engine as well.
Yeah, no, I was very lucky I walked away, well, not unscathed, but I've still got a few scars on my hand because the windscreen glass went into my hand, but other than that, I walked away pretty much unscathed. But they really, the police didn't even breathalyze me, which was odd because I'd been working as a barman. Not that I'd touched a drop, but I guess he got close enough to my breath, and he was like, "Have you been drinking?" I said, "No," and he was like, "All right." But the people in the hospital were quite mean. They were like, "You're a fucking idiot." Like, I didn't mean to do it. But I suppose, yeah, I had to be going some to come off that corner. Well, I'm sure I was doing over a ton when it happened. It's just a road I'd gone down so many times, and I used to set like a time trial for myself. Because like I think it was, I can't remember the exact mileage, but it used to be about a 20-minute drive from where I was staying to where I was working, and every day I would try and cut it down a bit more. So eventually I got it down to a 15-minute drive, then 13 minutes, then I managed to do it in 10. And I was like, right, let's see if we can break the 10-minute record tonight. Because when I finished work in a bar as well, it was always like 2 in the morning when there was no one else on the roads, down little Scottish country roads. But yeah, not very smart, guys. Don't risk it, I would say. Driving fast can be a thrill. I mean, if you are going to do it, this has always been my philosophy on it. If you're going to drive fast, never drive drunk, because you're just a cunt if you do that. But if you're going to drive fast, just do it when you're on your own in the car. Because then if something does happen, you've only got yourself to blame, and you don't have to feel guilty about anyone else. I'd never drive like a total twat if I'd had other people in my car. But yeah, so I think also the trouble for me is it was my first like powerful car. I mean, it was only a 1.8, but it was a BMW, so it had a few horse under the hood. And I'd been used to driving like little Fiestas and things before that, so I was like, yeah, look at this thing go. Too much power.
What model was it? Was it like a 300 series or 700?
It was the 318.
All right.
But after that, I got a 5 Series. But I didn't. But that all turned out to be an absolute nightmare because that car, the guy had done loads of dodgy work on it. He'd put like drift axle in the back, and I don't think it was even actually road legal, and yeah, a lot of problems with that one. But I didn't crash it because I drove around everywhere like an old granny for the next 6 months after the crash.
Yeah, it was a little while before I got back behind the wheel after the crash.
Wait, Lorne crashed his car into a house. When did that happen, Johnny? That's mental. There's all this. Apparently, there's loads of new lawn stuff. I've been staying out of the TCAP community because I kind of lost interest a bit. But you know, I'm always interested if there's more ongoings to hear about it clandestinely. But I don't really want to. I think I'm kind of done with that rabbit hole. I'm looking for a new rabbit hole at the moment because I've Chris Chan I'm still taking an active interest in, but of course that's been fueled by Gino Samuel's fantastic documentary. Like with every episode of that, I'm just like, wow, this is really cool. But I want a rabbit hole of my own. I want to discover someone like Chris Chan and make an amazing documentary about it, and then everyone go, "You're the best man ever." I was making my Chris Morris documentary, which is nearly ready for upload, actually. I might just upload it, because I'm never going to do the last 3 minutes of it and just go, sorry it ends. Hey, Chris!
Hey, it's Chris Morris Multipass!
Chris Morris! Guys, go and check out Chris's channel, because he does two Cyber. So... yeah, I've lost my train of thought now.
Rabbit holes, that's what you were talking about. Yeah, and I was just about to ask you, like, do you ever read any creepypastas or anything like that?
I listen to like Mr. Nightmare stuff and that on like when I'm at work, I'll occasionally stick on a scary story or something, but they get a bit repetitive after a while. I'm not really actually that sure on what exactly a creepypasta is.
It's kind of like internet folklore, I guess you could describe
like
it.
Slender Man.
Yeah, I think Slender Man is a creepypasta.
Well, isn't it? Slender Man is a creepypasta, isn't he? Like the original one, because you can actually trace the origins of Slender Man back, because he came from a competition, like back in the early days of the internet, like the late 90s or whatever. There was a competition about taking a photo and making it scary. And some people, and they literally...
There are many creepypastas that date back way way into the early realms of the internet, like the Russian sleep experiment. What others? I mean, even Sonic has like his own creepypastas, like the origins of Sonic EXE, the creepypasta game based on a creepypasta.
Well, I suppose, what could you say? Sonichu, is that a creepypasta? Is that like a have we broken the fourth wall there by saying that Chris Chan has created a creepypasta?
Sonichu isn't considered a creepypasta, I don't think, because Chris Chan is real.
Wow, is he?
Quickfield may not
Chris
be.
Chan real?
Oh yes, I saw him with Count Dankula the other night.
Yeah, but I the way he speaks about everything, it's kind of nice. He's so that sort of detached from reality. I'm jealous of him.
Yeah, he has his own little world that he can just porthole into and mess about in.
Oh, Slender Man, Matt? You can, because for my work I had to do an article about him because there's a lot of computer games around him. But he was basically, this is only my version of events, and I'm sure if you just do your own Google research, you'll probably find out with lots of things. But Slender Man is, yeah, we can get you in, Chris. Slender Man is basically a guy, like, he was put into a photo as part of a competition for a horror photo, but then people came across this photo, thought it was real, and the thing has run, and you know, people have made loads of independent computer games about him, like fiction about him, that sort of thing. Right, hold on. Chris isn't online, so I don't know how he can call in.
He's not online. I thought he was on YouTube right now.
No, he said let me call in. I thought he meant to the Skype call. But he's not on Skype.
He's not on Skype.
Well, not currently, anyway. But yeah, that's more or less my interpretation of what Slender Man is. But yeah, he's this big sort of like black figure that eats people or whatever. Yeah, and wears a suit. So, yeah, I mean, Slender Man's definitely, I guess, a creepypasta. But why do we call them creepypastas? What have they got to do with pasta?
I don't know. I could quickly look it up and see what it means.
Well, I think we're doing our own form of lazy research here. But, yeah, it's just internet culture, isn't it? I only joined Reddit a couple of years ago and only really became active on there recently. And that's a weird place.
Yeah. I mean, I do admit there have been a couple of times when I've had a little peek at 4chan to see what goes on there, and
I've never been on 4chan. I've been on Kiwi Farms. But that's only to look at stuff about Chris Chan.
Right, so what, on the Quickie or whatever it is?
Yeah, oh no, the Quickie's different, but on Kiwi Farms, it was like where a lot of the trolls met from who trolled Chris and stuff.
Right, so like, what was it, Blue... No, I can't remember their names.
Blue Spike.
Blue Spike, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've just brought up Wikipedia and it says creepypastas are horror-related legends or images that have been copy and pasted around the internet. These internet entries are often brief, user-generated paranormal stories to scare readers.
Well, I always like a good horror story.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, so the pasta comes from being copy-pasted. Okay, creepypasta, copy-pasted. Thank you, Terry. Right, there we go. So that makes sense. Okay, it's like Kiwi Farms. The word farms comes from people mispronouncing the word forum.
Okay.
So, yeah, because it was Kiwi Forums, but then, like, because people would say forums, so they changed it to Kiwi Farms. So, yeah.
I think I may have heard of Channel Zero. Not as in a TV series on an actual type of creepypasta. But mind you, I've read so many, I kind of get muddled to which ones are which.
Yeah. Oh, There's Hereditary Witch. Okay, I like a good horror film, Carrie, but I'm into psychological horrors. I don't do gore. Right, hang on, Chris. We'll get you in.
Okay,
And in
Chris.
fact, good timing as we start talking about horror films. It's still showing me he's not online. I'll try calling him anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a horror film I wanted to see for ages called Veronica, which is a Spanish horror movie. I've really enjoyed the. Oh. Huh?
Huh?
I don't think Chris is telling me to call a Skype account that I don't think I have. No.
Wait. That looks like someone else.
What? Where? No, that's Chris in that picture.
I thought his name was Chris Farley.
No, but don't dox him on the stream.
Okay.
Well, anyway, Chris, I don't know if we'll go on too much longer, to be honest, because we've been going over an hour and 20 now, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it just says an hour ago for me.
It's been an hour and 20, so we've streamed for the length of a short movie. I loved Cabin in the Woods. That's Joss Whedon as well, isn't it? I think. But yeah, I don't like the Saw movies and that kind of thing. Like gore just isn't my cup of tea. But a really good psychological horror is right up my alley.
If I want to watch a gore film, I tend to go old school and watch like one of the video nasties or what do they call them? DPP 39 films. For those of you who don't know about the term video nasty, back in the early 80s, there was a woman by the name of Mary Whitehouse who went round saying, you can't watch this film, it's nasty and it will offend the children. Back then, videotapes did not have any kind of classification on them, so video rental shops would have like pirated copies of 1970s, 1960s gore films, and they would just hand them out willy-nilly. And so she pushed through Act in Parliament, and we ended up with the Video Recordings Act of 1985, and that's where the UPG 15 and 18 rated films became a thing with video cassettes.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember the comedy show, The Mary Whitehouse Experience.
Yeah, they would always have comedy shows taking the piss out of Mary Whitehouse for trying to censor something that didn't need censorship. For example, there was a film with Dolly Parton, I think, and Burt Reynolds called something like the best whorehouse in Texas or something.
Yeah.
And because it had the word whorehouse in the title, she said, "Oh no, you can't watch that. It's pornography." But of course, it wasn't pornography. It was just. I'm not sure if it's a comedy or not.
I don't know. I've not watched it. Right, well, I think, anyway, because it's 2:30 in the morning, and now I've hit 50 followers on Twitch, so I would like to get up and do a nice long Twitch stream tomorrow, so hopefully you'll be around and we can get on some GTA, do some streams.
Well, I'm not sure. Hold on.
Well, Chris,
I'm not sure what time.
I'm
not sure what time tomorrow, because I'm going to be going down to the Masonic Lodge tomorrow.
Why are you going to are you a Mason?
Well, no, a friend of mine is a Mason, and he's always saying, "Oh, you should come along, have a look around." And I've been trying to say no quite often, but they got an open day tomorrow, and I kind of like
you'll be
obliged
like,
to
you'll
go.
be like Homer when like you're driving along and special roads open up for you. And...
yeah, the stone cutters.
Yeah. That's it. The best little whorehouse in Texas. Thank you, the first Mrs. R. Mrs. R's on there with the pop culture references. Oh, cool, Hal. Hit me up. Sure, we can meet up if you're around. Send me a message on Facebook like you did last time, and I'll make sure to check it more regularly. Right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I'm sorry we strayed quite far off topic. I mean, there's only so many times you can keep saying, "Well, YouTube's shit and it's dead," whilst being on YouTube, which is a bit, you know. But tomorrow's all about Twitch. Come and. What time for Twitch tomorrow, Terry? I would say around 10 hours from now, which would be around midday, 1 o'clock my time.
1 o'clock your time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Around midday.
I may be there a little later, but I'll try and get back in time.
All right, cool. Well, hopefully Chris will be there and maybe a couple of other people. So yeah, take care, everyone, and we will see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
See you guys.